Hey, good morning, everybody. Coach Kurt Johnson from the E-commerce Business School coming at you with Saturday morning live, and I am here with Don Cleaver. Hi, Don.
Hi.
Hey, we're both ex-military, and so we're starting about a minute early because in the military, if you're late, you're wrong. So we're punctual and on time. I'm looking forward in this Saturday morning live session talking with Don about what he's doing here at the E-commerce Business School. He's just such a great member, an empowering member of all we do. Hey, Judith, and so please, any questions you have along the way, whether you join us live this morning or if you are watching the recording, feel free to put your questions in there. We're more than happy to answer them. How is my sound and video coming through, Judith? That would be awesome to know. Or Lisa, thank you. Welcome, welcome. Please put in it. And if you are military or ex-military, put that in there too. I want to thank Don for his service to our country and anybody else, military families out there. We appreciate you and all that you do. So again, this is Coach Kurt Johnson. Killed that first minute. We're ready to roll on Saturday morning live with Don Cleaver, wonderful member of our community. And so, yep, okay, thank you. All right, good morning, Kimberly. Awesome, awesome. So, Don, thanks for taking the time to visit with us from Colorado Springs this morning.
Yep. Good to be here.
Hey, those are my old stomping grounds too. When I was at the Air Force Academy, I really loved that part of the country. In fact, when I go out there in August when we do our Ultimate Business Lifestyle Retreat, I'm going to be visiting Buena Vista again, a Garden of the Gods, and kind of
Oh
just
yeah.
taking a little time to enjoy the scenery there. So,
Yep. That's a beautiful
any,
state.
yeah. So anyway, tell us a little bit about your journey, your career path, and maybe how you segued into or added e-commerce to your life. How you found ANSIG or the E-commerce Business School. Just share with everybody a little bit about your journey.
Okay. Well, like you said, I'm a retired Marine, so I was in the Marine Corps for 20 years. And while I was in the Marine Corps, the military pay, especially with the family, growing family, you need to find some ways to augment your pay. So I was in the network marketing arena, and I was struggling. And so back in 2007, I did a search online for how to get leads for or something. I can't even remember what I searched for, but I found Ann, and that's when I first was introduced to ANSIG and the Renegade Network Marketer and the Seven Lies to Network Marketing and all that. And so I've been following her ever since. And a few years ago, when Ann was introduced or introduced us to the online marketing or with Amazon and back then it was eBay. It was drop shipping on eBay. I jumped right in and I actually started making money, and I made money the first couple of weeks.
That's awesome. That was a common thing with a lot of people that Ann was trying to empower in the direct sales, attraction marketing, network marketing
Yep.
arena, and good stuff. A lot of good training, and not just you, but a lot of people took to e-commerce because a lot of the skills there were applied into the e-commerce world.
Yep.
But like you said, it's easier to sell stuff than sell a business opportunity, and our
It
people just
is.
had lots and lots of success and continue to have lots of success. So
Yep.
anyway, hey, I'm going to flip over to a slide just welcoming all our new members. Guys, this is Don's journey. We hope someday soon you share your journey and your success path with others here at the E-commerce Business School too. So, well, Don, so you came into the e-commerce world with Ann. I got a couple pictures here. That's you and I in front of the room in Colorado where we're doing some training, and then you in that next to the campfire outside when we had that campfire experience. So, share a little bit about the dynamics before we get into what I really want to talk about today is you're incorporating a virtual assistant into your business.
Right.
I know people are wanting to hear about that, but tell us a little bit about your journey into our community and maybe some highlights and all that, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, when I was actually stationed over in Baghdad, Iraq, and like I said, I was still keeping in touch with Ann, still trying to figure out how to develop teams and whatnot. And when we started getting into e-commerce, I was actually able to uh, buy and sell products online with eBay and whatnot, and not even you know have inventory. And I was doing this over in Iraq, so it actually worked pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got back, I ventured into the Amazon marketplace. So I'm starting to sell on Amazon, but I realized that I wanted to grow this business bigger. And so Ann puts together a great program that teaches you some basics on how to like sell on Amazon and Shopify, things like that. But it also teaches you how to build a bigger business model, something that you can actually sell in the future if you wanted to. So like Brian says, I no longer wanted to say I'm an Amazon seller. I'm a business owner. And the event that we had up in Colorado was tailored just for that, just on how to, identify what you need to be a business owner rather than just an Amazon seller.
Well, Don, and I thank you. I mean, you've come to many, many events, not just this one that works on us, the entrepreneur, but learning the skills. They're not difficult, but there's still things to learn to sell online and all that kind of stuff. And you've just been very step by step, diligent, on and on. And I was laughing at this is my favorite coffee cup. I thought you would appreciate it. So
yeah.
And by the way, I forgot to bring my Rhino thermos, Rhino Zing. If you want to reach behind you and grab it, you don't have to, but you'll see behind Don's head there, he sells a line of some really awesome thermos cups. Yeah.
These are my stainless steel bottles. I got a 18, 32, and a 64 ounce bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And they work really, really well. And I also have the cups.
Yep. So anyway, I got one, and they're awesome. And yeah, then when Don found out that I bought one, he sent me the little thermos thing, the carrier too. So that was pretty cool. So, well, Don, what I'd like to do is just, we teach and train step by step, all of that. But just, I'm going to go to some of your stuff so that people can kind of see how is this working for you, and as far as what are you doing, and on and on. So the next slide I have, and then I'm going to go to some websites, is you developed Camp Wild Ride, and part of, we'll talk about in just a little bit, your ability to expand is because of a virtual assistant. But let me show some people what it is that you're up to. And by all means, guys, as you see some of this stuff, enjoy Don's stuff. Go buy his stuff. It's really great stuff. It's quality and on. And we like to support each other as a community here doing that. So the first thing I have here, Don, I don't know if I told you about this. I just have a Camp Wild Ride, your actual website, campwildride.com. And then tell me when you want to go to. I have the interface on Amazon. I have your Facebook page. Yeah, those three.
Okay.
What now? You told me when I went to this. Now this is your store on Amazon, Camp Wild Ride, and these are some of your products. And
we're not seeing it yet. Are we supposed to be seeing that?
There's probably a lag time. So yeah, the lag time, Don, is between us and it's actually lag time with me, but it'll turn out fine live and on the record.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah. So these products on Amazon, Camp Wild Ride is your store on Amazon, same as your website here on Amazon. Tell us a little bit about how you expanded and are now, there's your Rhino Zing mug. Tell us a little bit about how your VA, how all this comes about, how you started to grow, and then how your VA started to dovetail into this.
Right. So the Rhino Zing bottles that I put on Amazon were my what I call private label. So these are the items I bought from China, put my label on there, and then I sell them as a private label item. But not everybody may not know, but the more things you have on Amazon, the more money that you make. And so I needed to get more products on Amazon, and so we can either do a local arbitrage where you go to the stores and find them, or we can do online arbitrage where you can find products to order and then send into Amazon. But it takes a lot of time and effort because in order to expand, you have to have help. And so I found a VA. He works out of the Philippines, and he scours the internet for me and looking for the deals that I can take advantage of and order and put on Amazon. And that's what you're seeing. So the games and the shoes and the toys and stuff, those are the things that my VA found for me to put on Amazon.
Awesome. And so once he's
We're
trained
not
it.
hearing you.
Oh, thank you, Don. Thank you, Don. I muted temporarily because my crying grandbaby walked by my office with mommy, so I wanted to mute there. And now we're on your Facebook page. I love outdoor camping, and
Right.
so how does that? Oops, here we go. Oh, that's telling me to join this. There we go. Let me get rid of that. So,
Okay.
tell me a little bit about how Facebook interfaces with your e-commerce business and growth and all that too.
Right. So my name on Amazon and my name on my website is Camp Wild Ride, and my Facebook page is I Love Outdoor Camping. It all relates to my passion, which is camping. I love to get out and outdoors, and I camp. And I don't like to camp alone. I don't can't remember a single time that it was just me or just me and my family out there camping. We usually have anywhere from 10 to 35 people in our group when we go. Yeah, so I'm a very community orientated type of camping environment. But we like to get out there and have fun. We circle the wagons. We do a community kitchen where we come together for the meal and whatnot. When we go on rides. ATVs and motorcycles are our main activity that we do. But we also do hiking, fishing. If there are local things in the area like zip lining, stuff like that, we'll take advantage. So but camping, camping and camping lifestyle is the whole theme of my Facebook page, and so I try to share some of our experiences and that we do out there as well.
So your love for camping, in particular the vehicles, as your Facebook shows here, the motorcycles, the ATVs, the four wheelers, and all that, you really know that world. So in knowing that world, how does that help you as an e-commerce seller?
Well, I tend to think when we try to say target an audience, we call it an avatar. So we try to identify the group of people that would be interested in that. And I use myself as the avatar to try to identify that. So when I start to write content, write either ads or the information that's actually in the product detail pages, I try to tailor it towards somebody that would be have a very similar interest in that.
Okay.
And so I think that that the experience I've had with the camping and with my family and friends' input as well, because they're also experts in that area, I'm able to target that audience a little bit better.
Sure, sure. And then when we're going to kind of segue now, Don, this is your niche, this is your business, you're propagating stuff in that whole realm and world. You obviously know how to talk their language. I love some of the video stuff you do, experiences on and on. When you decided to expand even more through the acquisition of a virtual assistant, you went over to the Philippines. Tell us a little bit, how did that happen, and was the cultural thing difficult? Did you have guidance? Did you have training to do that? Tell us a little bit more specifically how that came about.
Yes. So Brian had put together a training package a while back that talked about how to hire for virtual assistants for the online arbitrage course. And so I was a member of that. So I followed just step by step. We have a template that talks about the how to do the actual listing or job posting, they call it. And so I submitted my job posting, had about 20 applicants reply, and then he has a template on what to ask when you do the interview. And it made it really simple because the interview process was more about availability and things like that, and then also giving them a test assignment. And then I did that to 3 individuals, and then I just got the results from the assignment, and I just picked the best one, and I've been working with them ever since.
That's awesome, Don. Yeah, so someone created the path before you, laid it
Yep.
out, and you just follow step-by-step directions. Now, when Don refers to Brian, talk about our executive director of coaching and training, Brian Cummings. In fact, if you're on our Facebook page right now for the e-commerce business school, you can find an interview that he did with one of his VAs that he has worked with for 5 years from the Philippines, and so he knows what he's doing. And our own Dr. Josie Shepard has spoken into that too. So. Real asks, Don, that sounds awesome, Don. Where are you located? Real wants to know. By the way, Real's come through my boot camp too, and
Cool.
she's
I've been to
like,
several of your boot camps, and they are awesome. Really, really get the fire going, I guess is the best way to put it.
well, as long as you mentioned that, Real's a boot camp graduate and ex-military. I'm going to go ahead and put my boot camp link in there too. So since you mentioned it, tell them a little bit about what the boot camp is, the 10-day accountability boot camp. Because
So the 10-day accountability boot camp kind of gives you an idea. You start by setting a set of goals that you want to accomplish within that 10 days, and then every day you kind of report on your progress, and you're also you're encouraged by what other people are doing as well. So it's not just what can I do, but you got that competition thing going as well. So it's not just Kurt pushing you; it's all the other people that are accomplishing, and you're like, man, if they can do it, I know I can do it. I better get my rear in the gear and get it going.
All right. And the reason I mentioned that is we have made the boot camp now. It used to be given just as a bonus. And by the way, we are going to show you the training that you can learn all about, like Don did, as far as getting a VA, hiring a VA, expanding your business, getting it more automated and all that in just a moment. But we are going to give you a credit if you decide to access this course. That's the link that you're going to find right on this post is joinebs.com online. And a big part of that online shopping profit system training is the training that Don referred to about getting a VA. And if you purchase that, you will get a credit for the boot camp. Now, if you already have it or you're not interested in that, you can still join the accountability boot camp, but I put that link in there too. Well, Don, I'm going to jump on over. Tim asked, where did you post job listings? Don, if you want to answer that question, but no, all those kinds of questions are in the training too, correct?
Right. So part of the training, there's a couple different job posting sites. The one I use is called Upwork, and okay. It's very easy to search for candidates, and I did a little bit of that, but mostly I just posted my job post, and candidates found the post and responded. So I didn't have to do a lot of pre-work, but I think you could do it either way. If you happen to be searching through candidates to say, this guy sounds really good, you send him an invite to your job post. So it can work both ways. But yeah, Upwork was the company that I used, and really easy to do, and very, very simple process.
Awesome. Okay, and so the course that Don has referred to is the online shopping profit system. And it has, for the VA part of it, what Don was referring to, all the VA training and documents, the initial test assignment, the cover letter, the research instructions, the research training video, all of that is part of the course. And Don, when Brian showed me this spreadsheet that he cultivated, I've been around the block a few times, and you have too. It's hard to wow me. I was wowed. Now, are you using that tool with your VA?
Oh yeah, using the exact same tool. He's got two different tabs. The only thing I did is I moved the information from tab 2 to the end of tab 1. So that way it's when I order a product, it goes all the way through the whole process. But it's the same information. It is awesome, and the VA really understands. Really understands what it is that I am looking for in a product. So, when he first did a few, he said, "How are these?" And I checked in and said, "Well, this one here, Amazon's a seller on this one, so we can't compete." Then he starts to tailor down to, and then I'll say, "Well, I found this one; it's really good, but the ranking is not that well." And so I look and I say, "Well, they only sell like 2 or 3 months, so we're going to skip that one." And so he kind of gets the feel of what I'm looking for products. Awesome.
So now that he's gone through some learning curve, tell us a little bit about your ongoing interface with your Filipino
Right.
VA.
So I use Skype, and so we're Skyping all back and forth all the time. And if he ever has a question, he'll Skype me, and he'll do like a screen capture saying, I see this on there, and it may be a question about a restriction or something like that. We're not, and so what I'll do is I'll quickly go on there and apply and see if I can get approval for that category or that product. And if not, or if I can, one way or the other, then I'll come back and say, yes, we've got approval for that one. So let's go ahead and get that, grab it or not, so on. So we're constantly communicating back and forth with Skype. But the other thing I wanted to mention is that now that I have a virtual assistant that is doing great work for me, I expanded into other areas so to give him more stuff to do. Right now, I'm expanding my business into the print on demand. So I'm selling T-shirts, coffee mugs, and things like that, and he's helping me create those listings. So, and I did the exact same process that Brian taught us. Is I created a document for him to follow step by step. I created a video, and I walked through those steps, and then I send that to him, and he just follows the same steps. So what I learned with the online arbitrage, I just carried right over, and it worked really, really well.
Awesome, awesome. We've got a bunch of people on live now, and we'll listen to the recording. If there's anybody here listening though that has also accessed Brian's training on virtual assistants and implemented it, the step-by-step on and on, just let people know here, I mean, that kind of mentoring, that kind of assistance. And it's not just buying a course. Have you had the opportunity to interface with Brian or others as you've moved your business forward, Don?
Oh yeah. Both at events, we spent considerable time talking about certain aspects, specific questions, and on Brian's available on several times during the week on different accountability calls, and so it's very, very easy to get answers to questions that you have. And also the Facebook community, when you post a question in there, it's not just Brian and other coaches, it's other members that say, hey, I've had that same issue, and this is what I did to fix that.
Awesome. Okay, guys. Well, hey, you know what? Now we're going to go into some Q&A and unashamedly a bit of a commercial, because we don't like to just talk about things like this. Yay, Don, but what about me? We're actually running a 50% off sale for the online shopping profit system this weekend. It started Thursday. It ends tomorrow at midnight. And another thing that Brian's going to do, Don, that you may not even be aware of because you're ahead of a lot of people in this, he's not only going to have the course and the training, some of the support systems, he's also going to do live implementation coaching for 3 Tuesdays in a row, so that when someone like you gets the course and starts to dig in, he's going to guide them through that process, hand holding, so that by the end of 3 weeks, if they have any questions, run into any snags, have insecurities or whatever, that's the goal, is to have it. It might happen a lot sooner than that. They're going to have their VA hired. He's actually going to do small group coaching through the training.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Would you feel like that would be valuable for people jumping into this?
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. And he's done other ones similar to that for other courses that we have. Is kind of step by step, and they work really well.
Great. Okay, well, guys, it's joinebs.com/online. Make sure you do it now, or definitely before Sunday's over, and get in on those bonuses that Brian's going to do. It's going to start live on next Tuesday. So, Don, you open. I'm going to go ahead and just flip the slide to Q&A. You open to answering any other questions that people might come up with here in the panel. Feel free, guys, or again, share your experience with the interface with the training and the community. So let's see. Judith says, I'm in the process of hiring a VA for our print-on-demand business for Brian's training as well. Great job, Don, Coach Kurt, of course, Brian. All right. Any questions from any there about anything on Don's journey? I am so impressed that you got e-commerce, at least a chunk of it, up and going while you were actually in, was it Iraq?
Yeah, it's in Iraq, yeah.
That's pretty impressive, brother. Awesome. Did you have internet access issues?
Oh yeah, no, well, sometimes
Yeah, yeah.
it was very expensive there. In order to pay for internet, it was like $120 a month or something like that.
Oh,
But
okay.
we were happy to have it.
Yeah, yeah, I bet, I bet. All right, all right, I'm going to be looking for questions here. I'm not seeing any, but there is a lag time, Don, so we'll just kill a little time. Now, an event that's coming up, if someone jumps into the online shopping profit system to learn how to do the online shopping and get a VA
Right.
if they want to, that part's optional. There's also an event in July in Minnesota called the Trifecta, and I know you've probably been to more than one of those
Oh yeah.
where Brian then that's more a didactic training, hand-holding, group coaching of implementing the training there. Would you want to speak a little bit to your experience with trifectas as I wait for maybe a question or two to come in?
Yeah. So when I first, like I say, when I first got in, it was the like the trifecta, the very basics. So how to do local retail arbitrage. So going to your stores, your grocery stores, or your local community stores, and finding things that can you can sell at a profit on Amazon. And then the second one is the book flipping. So same thing is going to bookstores and finding books and stuff that you can make a profit by selling on Amazon. And then the third one is the online arbitrage. So some people either don't have access to a lot of stores in their area. They live like very remote, rural area, remote areas, or they just don't have the time. And so by doing some research and finding products, you're still going to, Walmart.com and Target.com and things like that. You're still going to these major stores, but you're finding the items and you're buying them online rather than having to physically go to the stores. But by having, uh, you know, not only the coaches but the other students there that are asking questions and stuff at these courses, it really gets you really get to fill in the full picture, and it really helps to attend these events.
Awesome. So we got that coming up in July, and if you're by OSPS, you'll find out more about that. We do a live new member orientation on Wednesdays, and we'll fill you in at that point. But we got a question here, Don. What is the pay rate for a virtual assistant?
It You can either do it kind of by the hour, so if you want to pay him by the hour, or if you want to pay him like a salary by a week. So I pay mine on a weekly salary basis, and he works about 25 to 30 hours a week. And so it ranges from anywhere from, say, 3.5 to $5 an hour. It kind of averages out depending on how much they would do in that week's time.
Yep. And you kind of answered the second question there too about how many hours per week you have your VA work, and do you pay a flat rate or an hour. I like to always jump in and chime in there since I've lived in the Philippines, Don. I don't even know if people notice the world map behind me. It's a Pacific Central world map. And so, Asia contains most of the Earth's population, if you include China and all that. And so you're actually doing such a blessing to those Filipino families. It doesn't sound like much here, but that goes a long way. It is considered very much a full-time wages there in the Philippines, and they do need work and so on and so forth. And so some people say, are you taking advantage of people? Absolutely not. It's entirely just the opposite. You are blessing a Filipino family when you hire a VOA over there in a really big way. I've been there, I know that, and so don't let that concern you at all. Okay. Kathy says, I'm just going to read this. Thank you, Don, for you just answered some of my questions. I live in a remote area. I've been trying to do local. I believe the online would work a lot better for me. I plan to be in the trifecta in July. Looking forward to that. Thank you very much. Awesome, Kathy. That's great. That's great.
That's great. Awesome.
Yeah, and Chris says, when and where is the next event after July? The next event of the trifecta, where we get into the dynamics and the tactical training of it, Chris. And by the way, you don't have to go to an event. All the base training is there. The event is just advanced, so don't feel like you have to wait for the event to get going. We actually have penciled in another trifecta for the late fall, but it's not in stone yet. The actual hard event that is going to happen is the ultimate business lifestyle, and that's what Don referred to earlier, working on us as entrepreneurs. So it's not program specific, it's more developing and expanding your business. It's business mindset, personal growth kind of stuff. That's in August, late August, in Colorado. Estes Park is actually where we hold that. Great question. Any other questions here? Nina asked, for those of us who already purchased online arbitrage, are we able to take part in the Tuesday opportunity? Nina, go to the support desk and ask that question through customer service, if you wouldn't mind, okay? Just go ahead and ask that question through customer service, and we'll get to you on that, okay? All right, well, Don, we're going to come to a wrap here. I think I've gotten all the questions. Guys, if I didn't, feel free to repeat them on the Facebook page. Our staff will read that. And I really encourage you to go to, let me bring up my browser one last time, Don. Don's stuff is just awesome. Thank him. We support each other's community, especially if you're going to buy, a mug or a cup or something along those lines anyway. By all means, we love to do this within our community. Camp Wild Ride, right there. And look through Don's catalog, if nothing else, see what he's doing with his e-commerce business. And he's got some equipment, accessories, toys, hunting, fishing, so on and so forth out there. So give Don some love and some thank you by going and buying. Let's see, it might be just a little bit late for Mother's Day presents, but Father's Day's coming up, right, Don?
That's good.
All right. Well, thank you, Don. I'm going to call it a wrap here. I think we've got all the questions here. We do have a little bit of a lag time, so we'll check it again later. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being such a go-giver in our e-commerce business school community. So, guys, find out more. Just go to joinebs.com/online. Any last words, Don?
Nope. And I say just appreciate this community and love to be a part of it. And if I can share, my knowledge with other people, that just icing on the cake.
All right. Okay, guys. Thanks for your time. Make it a great weekend. Bye-bye.